Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to record GameCube gameplay footage without using any computer software. All you need is this device right here. This device will record any display that uses an HDMI cable, composite cables, component cables, or this blue attachment used for computer displays. It can record pretty much any console, but I'm going to focus on GameCube for this video. The cloner is capable of recording 4K footage, but the final MP4 video file resolution will be displayed as 1080p, which is perfectly fine for capturing GameCube games because none of the games are even capable of being displayed anything over 1080p. This is everything that comes with the cloner when you first open the box. The cloner itself, a remote, a normal HDMI cord, an HDMI converter cable that can record 3 different display options. It comes with a power supply, and then it comes with a manual too. Just a side note, the cloner doesn't come with a flash drive or a hard drive to save your video files on. If you don't have a flash drive or hard drive already, you will need to buy one separately. Flash drives are pretty cheap on Amazon, but I would recommend a solid state hard drive if you're going to be doing a lot of recording because they have more memory space on them. The game I'm going to be recording for this video is Simpsons Hit and Run on the GameCube. This game was one of my favorites when I was younger. It was basically like Grand Theft Auto for kids whose parents wouldn't let them buy Grand Theft Auto. There's actually a guy on YouTube who is remastering this whole game by himself. I will link his channel in the description if you want to check out his videos. He shows the whole process of him actually remaking the game from scratch with better graphics. It's pretty sick. So just really quick, the GameCube normally uses composite cables to display the gameplay, but I bought this adapter online that uses an HDMI cord instead. It makes the GameCube graphics a little bit more sharper. I'll show you a comparison here in a second. I thought this HDMI adapter was only supposed to work for GameCube games that had this progressive scan mode icon on the back of the case, but I have played several games where this progressive scan icon isn't mentioned on the case, and the game still asks me when I start them if I want to play the game in progressive mode. Simpsons Hit and Run doesn't have that symbol on the back of its case, and it still asks me when I use my HDMI adapter if I want to display the game in progressive mode. It's weird. Look at the difference between using the normal composite cables that the GameCube comes with versus the HDMI adapter. The composite cables make the graphics look kind of cloudy and rough around the edges. I have the composite footage on the left and the HDMI footage on the right. I'll show you another one of my favorite games called Smuggler's Run so you can see the difference. Same thing on this clip. The composite footage is on the left and the HDMI is on the right. Hopefully you're able to see a difference in these short clips, and even if you don't see a big difference from this video, I can tell you from a first hand using this adapter that there's a huge difference when I'm actually playing the game on my TV. The graphics just look more HD with the adapter. If you're going to buy one of these adapters, just make sure you have the correct GameCube model because this adapter only works for the 001 models with the 2 display ports on the back. I would highly recommend getting one of these adapters if you play a lot of GameCube or if you plan on recording a lot of gameplay. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you're setting up your cloner is make sure that the power to your GameCube is plugged in. Then plug in your composite cables with the yellow, red, and white tips into the back of the console, and then plug that into the converter attachment that your cloner comes with. Or if you're going to be setting it up with the adapter, plug the HDMI adapter into the back of the GameCube with the HDMI cord plugged into the adapter. I edited this picture really quick to show you how you need to connect your display cables to the cloner. The first thing I would do now is grab the HDMI cable that your cloner came with and plug one end of it into the out slot on the cloner, and then have the other end of that HDMI connected to your TV or whatever display you're going to use. Then, if you are using the basic composite cables with the converter attachment, plug that attachment into the MMI in slot. Or if you're using the HDMI adapter like I am, then plug the HDMI cable straight into the normal in slot on the cloner. Hopefully this picture I edited can clear up any confusion you have when you're setting this up. Just pause the video and read this graphic if you're confused and it should start to make sense. Next, you want to make sure that the power supply to your cloner is plugged into a wall outlet. Then plug either your flash drive or your hard drive into the USB slot on the side of your cloner. This is where your files are going to be stored. To turn the cloner on, hold this button in the front for 1 second and hold it for 5 seconds if you want to turn it off. Then on your TV, change the input to the correct HDMI so your GameCube is showing on your display. So before you start recording any gameplay, there's a few buttons you want to press on your cloner remote so you get the best quality videos. First, you want to press this 16:9 button. If you don't know what that means, I'll put a graphic on the screen that explains it. Basically, you can record your screen in two different ways, a 4:3 ratio or a 16:9 ratio. 4:3 will film your gameplay and save the files as a square video, and 16:9 will save your gameplay as a nice rectangle video file. I would suggest recording in a 16:9 ratio unless you actually want a square size video file. Next on your remote, press the 1080p button at the bottom so your video file will record in the highest resolution possible. After you press those buttons, you are good to press the record button on the top of your remote. So now your gameplay is going to start recording onto your flash drive or your hard drive. This is what your TV is going to look like. It's going to show this timer in the top corner that shows how long your video has been recording for. You are able to turn this on and off in the settings if you don't like it. Just know that this text will not be there on your final MP4 video file, so don't worry about that. Then when you're done recording your clip, press the stop button on the top right corner of your remote, and that file will be saved to your storage device that's plugged into the side of your cloner. To rewatch your clips from your TV, press this playback button in the middle of your remote. You can also take screenshots of your gameplay by pressing this camera button on your remote. This is a good setting to use if you wanted to get a good thumbnail for your YouTube video. You can also look at the pictures you have taken by pressing the playback button on your remote as well. Just a side note, you will be using this back button a lot to navigate through all the different menus on your screen while you're using the cloner. Now that you have gathered all of your clips, you can take your storage device out of the cloner and plug it into your computer if you wanted to start doing some video editing. If you have a Mac computer, I would recommend using iMovies if you're just going to be doing basic video editing. It's easy to use if you have never edited videos before. Just go to the App Store on your Mac and download it for free. You don't need any kind of membership to use it. You can buy this cloner right now on Amazon for around $180. They do have a 4K cloner that's about $60 to $70 more expensive. You don't need that 4K cloner if you plan on recording gameplay from older consoles like a Gamecube. The 1080p cloner that I've shown you will be perfectly fine. Alright guys, I hope that video was helpful for you. I have other videos on my channel using the cloner that shows you how to like rip movies like Netflix and HBO and DVDs and Blu-ray. You can check that video out as well. I'll link it at the end of the video. I also have Madden videos and Mario Kart if you want to watch those. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, just subscribe to my channel and like the videos. That helps a lot. And yeah, that's all I got for today. So bye-bye!
Hey, Simpson, race ya!
First one to the front of the bus gets Martin's lunch money.
What?
Go Apple!
Go Orange!